nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktosmi nirmalaha nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktosmi nirmalaha. Ushama, read the translation for me, ma, for everyone.
Namaste, Guruji. I am attributeless, actionless, eternal, without doubt, unsullied, changeless, formless, ever free and pure.
Who is saying
Atman.
this?
Atman. It is about the Atman.
Who read it?
Shankaracharya.
Appa. Now who read it?
Myself, Guruji.
So when you read it, how should you read it?
Atman is attributeless.
Huh?
Or I should say, as Shankaracharya says that Atman is attributeless, actionless, eternal. That's the way.
I am only listening to Ushama. I'm not listening to any Shankaracharya here. When Ushama says, I am attributeless, refers to
my Atma.
The Atman in you.
Yes.
So when you say, I am attributeless, it is not me, the conditioned individual as Usha. I am the unconditioned as the Atman.
Yeah.
So this verses has to be taken as an abhyasa. This is the path of assertion.
Okay.
So it's not what Adi Shankaracharya said. When Adi Shankaracharya said, he meant it because he asserted the truth. It's a matter of time when you and I also say the same thing with conviction. I am not having negated. What did we negate till now? What all we negated? 30, 31, 32, 33. What did we negate?
We negated
the gross body.
Yeah.
We negated the material world.
Yes.
We negated the pranas. We negated the subtle body. We negated the causal body. So having said I am not this, now we are saying I am that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the abhyasa for each one of us, isn't it? So when I say I am not this, I am only saying, the individual is saying I am not this. But when I say that, I am trying to unite myself to the higher self.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So when I use the word I, it refers to the union of me with the Atman.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm trying to convey the spirit, what this verse is trying to give. It's a very, very beautiful, very off-quoted, very, very famous, very off-quoted verse. I'm sure you all have heard it in some context or other. Okay. Each words have a specific meaning. Now, again, this is from a very absolute standpoint. You will get tired very soon trying to understand because you can't relate to it. Now, these are the way, in fact, in this verse, he's giving 9 definitions. I would call them as, it's not we calling, it's how we must understand it as, these are known as pointers or indicative definitions of God. They are pointers or indicative descriptions of God because you can't strictly give a definition or define God. So these are all giving you an approximation at its best. You can't get any better description of the unknown. Now, before I get to that, Annapurnama is asking something here. I feel uncomfortable to move on without clarifying someone. So, if Atman is not affected, how is it carries vasanas? Atman doesn't carry vasanas. Where did you get the impression Atman is a carrier of vasanas? What is it that carries vasanas, Rajima?
The conditioned consciousness.
No, next question will be, what is conditioned consciousness? Vasanas belong to what? She's saying Atman has vasanas. I said
The body,
Atman
mind,
has no
and intellect.
vasanas. It is a, in fact, the body, mind, intellect are expression of vasanas. What houses vasanas?
Is it the subtle body and the causal body, Guruji, or the causal body alone?
Again, vasanas is another term for causal body, isn't it? Ma, the vasanas don't belong to Atman, which is the another word for Atman here is known as Purusha. Atman is the Purusha. Vasanas belong to what is known as Prakriti. So Prakriti or matter constitutes vasanas. So it is not the properties and attributes of the Atman. So you must separate. So therefore we have two segments, Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the Atman, the self or the consciousness. Prakriti is matter, which constitutes of vasanas, your mind and intellect and the body and the world. All the matter comes in one bracket, different compartment. Okay. It's like the captain in the aircraft is Atman, the business class, and the rest is the different classifications of matter, subtle matter, gross matter. None of them have access to the cockpit. That's exclusive only to the captain. Okay, ma? Right. So these attributes or these qualities which are mentioned, nirgunaha, nishkriya, nitya, nirvikalpaha, niranjanaha, these are all the various terms. As I've said, these are known as the pointers or indicative definitions of Brahman. They give you an idea to give a contemplative person to formulate a concept as to what God is, what Brahman is. Because a person who is non-intellectual, for him, he puts an altar or an idol, and he needs a form to flow his thoughts. But for a contemplator and thinker, he needs direction. So these help. Now, how do these help? Is there's something called as a moon branch analogy. Is known as, in the Vedantic studies, we use the term or the concept known as Chandra Shakha Nyaya. The Chandra Shakha Nyaya or the moon branch analogy. It's like on a bright day, on a morning, 11 o'clock or so, you see a small crescent of moon. It's very bright and sunny, but that crescent moon is so dull because of sheer luster of the sunlight, you can't see it. Now, how do you point out the moon crescent on a clear, cloudless day to a person? How do you point out the moon? And then they use the help of the tree and the branches. So you say, okay, you want to see the moon, you will point him to a particular tree at a distance. So do you see the tree? Ah, yes, sir, the tree is very clear. It's just a few 50, 100 meters away, I see the tree. Okay, you see the tree? Okay, you see the right branch, that big branch going to the right side? Yes, sir, I see the right branch going to that side. Can you come along that branch to the right end of that? Yes, sir, I've come to the very end of it. Do you see a bunch of flowers there? Yes, sir. Can you see above that? Yes, I see above the flowers. You see the couple of leaves there at the corner? Are you referring to that? Yes. And then you tell him, look beyond those leaves. And right behind the leaves is the moon, which could not have been pointed out without the help of the trunk, without the help of the branch, without the help of the twig, without the help of those leaves. But yet, the trunk is not the moon, the branch is not the moon, the twig is not the moon, the leaf is not the moon, but yet the moon could not have been pointed out with any of these pointers leading you up to the moon. So these are all pointers taking you to conceive or visualize what the unknown God is. And they say the God is right within us. And what is that nature of the Atman of the God right within us? These are the traits. So the Chandra Shakha Nyaya is a concept, that analogy, that methodology is used to convey this principle. So you use that principle to convey what is being conveyed. The attempt is in that process. So first he says, Nirgunaha. Atman is Nirgunaha. It has no properties, the gunas or the properties of the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. It's only a substance that has properties. Atman is not a substance, therefore it has no properties. Finished. This is rejected all the material, no properties. Nishkriyaha. It is without actions. Just as we said, it is that which enables action, it remains actionlessness. Atman enables action. It's like petrol enables movement, but petrol is motionless. Petrol enables motion, but Atman remains motionless. Exactly the same way, Atman is not doing any action right now. You think, is Atman talking to you? No, Atman is not talking. Atman is just a silent witness. Sadraman sir, silent witness, sir. Atman is witness. I am only making too much noise. Atman says, I've got nothing to do with it. You do what you want to do. I have nothing to do with it. Nishkriyaha. Nityaha. Nityaha means eternal. Whenever you talk of eternity, it's only confined to this concept of time. Atman is beyond time. Therefore, it is eternal. Eternity is something which never dies, isn't it? It existed in the past, it exists in the present, it exists in the future. It is beyond time. Nirvikalpaha, without doubts. All the doubts and decisions are the realms of the mind. Since it is no indecision, no doubt, no agitation, it is not a subtle body, therefore he says Nirvikalpaha. Niranjanaha, unsullied. No dirt. Anjanaha means dirt. No vasanas. Atman is beyond it. It has no dirt. It's pure. We already read it. We already mentioned it. Nirvikaraha. It is changeless. It is the prakriti that goes through change. The Atman remains changeless. These are all definitions, as indicated definitions. Now you got to expand on it. You got to think and make sense of what it is. Nirgunaha, without properties. Nishkriyaha, without actions. Nityaha, eternal. Nirvikalpaha, without doubts. Niranjanaha, It's without any impurities, no vasanas. Nirvikaraha, it is a changeless, it's that which is not subjected to any change. Nirakaraha, it is formless. It has no, since it is all pervading, it has no akara. And akara has a boundary. Since it is no boundary, it is all pervading. An object has a form. Atman is not an object, so therefore it is formless. Simple. You can't get into argument with them. This is the absolute standpoint. Atman is formless, full stop. Ever free. Nitya yuktaha. Atman is ever free, is always liberated. Atman is never bound. Nirmalaha. It has got nothing other than it to make it impure. Therefore, it's always pure. There's nothing other than it to contaminate it. There's nothing other than the Atman to contaminate Atman. Therefore, it is Nirmalaha, is pure. You know, you can't do justice to it with knowledge. So forget it. Let's chant the verse once and let it soak into you. That's all. You know, you want clarity, you have to call Adi Shankaracharya only to come and tell you. I can't. But let's chant it and then you get the pulse of what this verse is. Purnamada illama. Gayatri Ma, you have to stop sharing. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktosmi nirmalaha. Vardha verse. Gayatri Ma. Ama. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo. Let's all chant together. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktosmi nirmalaha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.